A traditional long-day care center operates within a contained facility for 8 or more hours a day, maintaining strict health standards under a predictable schedule. Before and after school care, or OSHC programs, have to meet those exact same regulatory standards, but they must do it while operating inside the highly trafficked, shared environment of a primary school. The defining constraint of the OSHC model is the turnaround window. While a traditional center has an 8-hour overnight window for deep cleaning, OSHC programs face a severe temporal bottleneck. When the 3 p.m. bell rings, a countdown begins to transform a chaotic classroom into a fully compliant care zone in just 30 minutes. Throughout the day, hundreds of students and teachers move continuously through the school's hallways, lunchrooms, and shared spaces. They leave behind an invisible microbial load on door handles, light switches, and desks. Preparing an OSHC facility is an urgent operational reset. Staff must neutralize a compromised biological environment before a vulnerable cohort of young children arrives. The Education and Care Services National Law 2010 establishes a strict legal baseline. It holds OSHC operators completely accountable for the health and safety of children in their allocated spaces, regardless of who actually owns the building. Because children transition constantly between school property and OSHC zones, operators must establish a written shared facility agreement. This is the only legal mechanism to clarify responsibility for high-traffic overlapping areas. The layout divides the facility into school-owned zones and OSHC-controlled zones. The areas pulsating on screen are the gray zones. Shared bathrooms, connecting hallways, and demountable entryways sit directly in the overlap, creating high-risk points for hygiene and compliance. During an inspection by ACECQA, the National Regulatory Authority, the absence of a written agreement for these exact areas triggers an automatic weakness finding under Quality Area 3. Even if the agreement specifies that the host school will clean a shared bathroom at 2 p.m., the OSHC team carries the final duty of care. Staff must physically inspect that room and procedurally document its cleanliness before their session begins. Without explicitly documented boundaries and verification, shared physical spaces instantly become unmanageable legal liabilities. In early childhood settings, illness rarely spreads through the air alone. The primary vectors for transmission are high-touch surfaces. This generated video demonstrates how quickly those pathogens spread. Look closely at this simulated biological footprint expanding across a metallic surface. Children move rapidly and erratically. A virus can travel from a shared toy to a door handle to a light switch in a matter of seconds. Interrupting this transmission requires a rigorous 3-tier protocol. Staff must execute hourly spot cleaning of high-contact items during the active session, perform a comprehensive sanitization of all play areas at the end of the day, and conduct targeted deep cleans weekly. Fold-out rest beds and cots introduce a unique logistical hazard. Because they accumulate dust, body fluids, and food residue, their frames require daily sanitization, and any soiled fabric must go straight into a strict quarantine rotation to prevent cross-contamination. You cannot restrict the physical movement of young children in a play environment. Targeting specific touchpoints with hourly intervention is the only mathematical way to break this infection chain. The National Health and Medical Research Council tracks specific pathogens that spread aggressively in childcare, such as norovirus, RSV, and hand, foot, and mouth disease. Neutralizing them requires serious chemical intervention. However, standard commercial bleach and ammonia cannot be used around children. Operators must utilize specific, TGA-approved, child-safe disinfectants, like ViraClean, that are formulated explicitly for educational environments. This split-screen logic diagram shows why chemical dilution ratios are so unforgiving. On the left, under-dilution leaves a caustic residue film that can harm developing skin. On the right, over-dilution creates a weak mixture that fails to penetrate the viral envelope entirely. ACECQA inspectors routinely swab high-touch surfaces during audits. If they detect incorrect chemical residues or a surviving microbial load, the service fails the assessment. Achieving chemical efficacy in childcare requires surgical precision. You must eliminate aggressive pathogens without leaving behind environmental toxins that impact developing immune systems. To an ACECQA inspector, visual cleanliness is entirely subjective. The only objective proof of safety is documented evidence. This is an example of a defensible cleaning register. It captures exactly who cleaned the space, the precise zone targeted, the time of application, and the specific product batch used, with clear initials verifying the treatment of shared rest beds with TGA disinfectant. When an auditor asks how staff know a bathroom is safe before children arrive, answering, "We just tidy it," immediately triggers a non-compliance rating. A compliant operation provides a procedurally driven answer supported by a daily sign checklist. Maintaining logs that link daily environmental checks to specific hazards, like broken toys or spills, also satisfies strict workplace safety obligations under SafeOrg NSW. In the eyes of national regulators, an undocumented clean is a clean that never happened. While the 30-minute daily turnaround maintains baseline hygiene, the 2-week school holiday closures offer a critical operational window to reset the facility. Holiday care protocols demand intensive work that daily schedules simply do not allow. This includes steam cleaning carpets, inspecting HVAC ventilation filters, and applying targeted mold mitigation, especially in coastal demountable units. This line graph tracks facility illness rates over a calendar year. Immediately following the highlighted holiday deep clean periods, the data reveals a sharp, sustained 30 to 40% drop in transmission rates entering the new term. Mastering these tiered standards, from the high-pressure daily turnarounds to the comprehensive holiday resets, removes the operational and legal risk from the educator's shoulders. Professional, compliant OSHC cleaning provides the invisible structural foundation of the facility. It allows educators to step away from risk management and focus entirely on learning, play, and the growth of the children in their